Hi, guys. Welcome to a presentation about collaborative learning strategies to inspire high performance teams. I did this presentation just a few minutes ago, or rather about an hour ago, and I did the presentation at the scheduled time. And I'm doing the presentation again because you can probably see right now there's some issues with the resolution, and it could be the monitor. I've done quite a number of Zoom recordings in the past and haven't had any problems with the recording. So there is some setting with the camera that is causing the browser to get kind of scrunched off at the bottom and the top. We're just going to go ahead with this recording, collaborative learning strategies to inspire high performance teams. So this is for a course called PIDP 3340, Collaborative Learning in the College Classroom. And the VCC, the provider for this course, is located on the unceded and ancestral territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh Nations, which have been stewarded by them since time immemorial. I'm grateful for the opportunity to take this course on these territories. A little bit about me. My name is Yuri Trices. I'm a Canadian from African and American descent. I'm a web developer, researcher, and consultant. I come from a varied educational background, having studied formal sciences, history, literature, economics, and during the last 12 years, web development. Today, I'm going to talk about collaboration and cooperative learning strategies that can inspire the formation of high-performance teams. This talk was inspired by Michael Broom's presentation, Three Types of Cooperative Learning Groups, which he gave on May 30th, 2025 via Camosun College Stream. And here's the link to Michael's talk. I'm going to put a link to this slideshow in the red on the forum where this video is going to be posted. So if you can see this video, you'll be able to see the slideshow, and you can go and you can watch Michael's talk from there. So first, I want to talk about collaborative learning versus cooperative learning. Collaborative learning focuses on group participation and collective problem solving. You can think of it as an unstructured group discussion where participants don't have any predetermined rules. They're sharing ideas. They're working together. The process is more flexible. It's learner-centered, and it emphasizes creativity, critical thinking, and mutual understanding. And teachers are acting mainly as facilitators, guiding the discussion and supporting student autonomy. Cooperative learning is a subset of collaborative learning. It involves structured teamwork with clearly assigned roles and specific tasks. Each student is accountable for some part of the work, ensuring that all contributions are integral to the group success. It emphasizes organization, time management, and positive interdependence. And it also provides a realistic representation often of working scenarios, or it can provide of working scenarios where you may have specialization in terms of team interactivity. So if you have a team and you have individuals that are performing certain aspects of team behavior, you really want to teach that in the team context. You would be teaching that in the context of a classroom. In a web development environment, you might think of a designer, you could think of a back-end developer, a front-end JavaScript developer, a UX designer, as well as some content research, and as well as some types of management or scheduling management types of roles. So having the group work together in a cooperative framework is cooperative learning. And it's a specialized form of collaborative learning, which can be used to help individuals and groups, to help individuals within groups learn how they can behave in ways that will help to facilitate forming groups and merging together into groups. So in this next section, I'm going to talk a little bit more about some of the summarization of some of the content that was in Michael Broom's presentation. So why discuss cooperative learning at all in a team context? Cooperative learning groups are more performant than individual members or traditional classroom groups. The importance of teamwork in industry and improving psychological health. Collaborative learning is not a zero-sum game. An individual learner and another individual learner might each bring one portion to the experience, and the outcome can be greater than one portion. It can be three portions. So there are synergies when humans combine, and those synergies can grow and they can also shrink if there are too many humans on a given project. Emphasizing learning in relation to other students can help inspire students. The competition aspect of collaborative learning can be a motivational factor for higher performance and high performance teams. So here we're going to talk about types of groups. So again, going back to Michael Broom's presentation, he had a really a good diagram that talked about individual students and their performance level, and then how the performance level dropped for certain types of groups, like spontaneous groups, and then how under certain types of formal groups or informal groups, that performance level would rise again. And I thought his diagram was a really wonderful diagram. I encourage you to go back to that link in the presentation and to look at the diagram and watch his presentation. There was a lot of inspiring information to help you as an instructor motivate yourselves to inspire students to work together in collaborative, cooperative learning sessions, environments. So informal groups are ad hoc task-based and they disband quickly. Formal groups are assigned by the instructors. They may have some thought put into the assignment and they may last for a lesson to a term. Cooperative-based groups are those bases that are going to help students to form themselves into longer-term high-performance groups. These are assigned by an instructor. They're designed to last for years, and they focus on the interdependence and the long-term relationships. Again, high performance really does come out of this long-term interaction and cooperative-based groups. And a really good example would be a sports team that has been working together. The students have been working together for, let's say, 3 or 4 years. You've got from juniors to seniors, and it's those synergies that they gain from working together as a team that helps them to achieve great success. So the characteristics of cooperative learning groups, their heterogeneous experience can bring more than the sum of the individual parts. They can improve the understanding through debate and discussion. They can make learners process and synthesize information instead of rote memorization, and they can foster motivational and emotional and social growth. So these cooperative learning groups, they create an environment which helps students to perform, to move toward high performing groups. The care and feeding of cooperative learning groups is typically done by some coaches. It can be done by management, and it can be done by instructors and teachers. What we can do as well is to teach the individual students and teach them as they are students about what the barriers to forming cooperative groups and things they might do to help a group as the group matures to perform optimally. So there are certain behaviors that not all students may understand that can be beneficial in terms of helping a group to perform optimally, like pass to your teammate, for example, or when your teammate is in trouble, provide some support so that then if you're thinking in the team context, they can move the ball to another player. If you're thinking in a study group context, a lot of the same psychology can apply, and being helpful to your teammates can go a really long way in terms of achieving a higher performance in the group setting. So there are some things instructors can do. They can use random instructor-assigned grouping methods to promote diversity. They can keep the group size small, maximum 6, ideally 4, or 3 to encourage interaction and prevent students from avoiding interaction through a large group. Some students can slip through without actually having to grow into those types of performance behaviors that are beneficial for them in terms of interacting in a group setting. Teach cooperative skills: forming, functioning, formulating, and fermenting. So these cooperative skills: forming is organizing the group and establishing norms. Functioning is managing the group's efforts and maintaining effective working relationships. Formulating, providing mental processes for deeper understanding and stimulating higher quality reasoning strategies. And fermenting is stimulating reconceptualization, cognitive conflict, and communication rationales. So these are some keywords that we can think about in terms of what we might want students to focus on. Reasoning strategies, stimulating reconceptualization. In other words, feeding off of each other to reconceptualize processes, dealing with cognitive conflict and communication of goals, alignments, rationales, reasons for perspectives. These are all group characteristics and their skill sets. So here I wanted to, this slide is about the forming, storming, and norming and performing. And here we're talking about how groups form and some of the stages of group interactivity. You can see on the independent axis, we have time. On the dependent axis, we've got performance. We've got forming. This is when the group first comes together. And I'm going to talk in one of the upcoming slides about how we rarely get to these first two steps. The forming, we rarely get through the forming step, and we even more rarely get through the storming step. But if we can get through those two stages in terms of a group, one of these different types of groups, informal groups, formal groups, if we can get through these first stages in these various groups, then we can mature as a group into the norming stage where we start to see higher performance again. And this is really where collaboration starts to come in. There's been some readjustment in the context of the group. The students have reformed hierarchical structures that might exist naturally, socially, tribal types of structures in terms of who performs fastest or who has different characteristics. And those adjustments and getting to know each other has helped to set the pace for how the students can perform in the context of the group and how their rivalries can perform in the context of the group and how they might become more comfortable with each other to work more cooperatively. So as we get into the performing well, we're starting to see higher performance action. And this is where the group starts to perform at a high level. Forming, storming, norming, and performing. So the problem is that students rarely get into the forming or the storming where they're rivaling and conflicting with one another because these groups typically break up. Forming is difficult because students are naturally avoidant, and storming is difficult to maintain. The students that want to leave the group, they no longer want to attend the meetings because it's no longer fun for them. There's too much conflict and they're no longer growing. So they have to work through that stage. And instructors can help students to understand how to work through that stage. So students may lack awareness of this problem. They may just know, I don't want to join the group, but they might not actually know if I stick with it for a lot longer, we're going to see some benefits here. Student-formed groups tend to be homogeneous, so there's a less likelihood of students joining with other students. Anywhere where there's a higher probability of storming, there's going to be a lower probability of forming. It's a challenge to get students to collaborate or cooperate. And forcing group behavior may seem, as an instructor, as being unconventional. So the solution is, of course, to incentivize students to collaborate and connect. That's the natural solution. And that's what this presentation is about. It's about solutions to incentivizing, how to incentivize students to interact in classroom settings that help them to form groups that are more cooperative, that teach them the behaviors so that they can be self-forming, more prone, more likely to form into groups that can later evolve into higher performance groups. So a solution that I'm presenting is called assignment configurations. It's one strategy that instructors can use to inspire students to interact. And it's how the assignments are set up, assignment configurations, structuring the assignments to promote collaboration and optimize learning outcomes. So it involves the incentive alignment for practical implementation, and it consists of assignment bundles and assignment trading. It promotes high performance group behaviors, and the design can include characteristics like due dates and technology specifications. So these assignment bundles, which along with assignment trading are part of assignment configurations. Assignment bundles involve grouping sets of assignments with specific criteria to encourage participation and collaboration. So by grouping these assignments, you're promoting collaboration among the students. The students are handing in one assignment, but each student is responsible for different components of that assignment. Now, we can also encourage the students to trade components to optimize their schedules and their specialties. So an instructor could give students components that they know the students won't enjoy because they're not good at that particular component. And another student might be exceptional at design. And there is some incentive for those two students now to interact in terms of trading these components. Now you can set the trade schedules to ensure that students collaborate. There's something fun to do in the class. Have the students interact at a specific time to trade assignments. This will promote familiarity among the students, creating more effective groups. An example could be it could involve a bundle of 9 assignments with 3 components each, traded among members to complete the bundle. Students could be assigned a bundle of 9 assignments, each with 3 components. Students must trade components at specific intervals. If the instructor wants them to have to trade at specific intervals, the final grouping of the components could be relevant to the course material. And an example of that is if you have many components, let's say 30 components of the assignment, and the group has, let's say, 5 students. So each student has 6 components. Throughout the time period of the assignment bundle, which could be a month, they will trade various components during certain classes and at certain times. And they will also be able to, upon completion of any component, a student could receive some type of piece of a larger puzzle. For example, one component on completion could yield a specific letter so that after the students complete all of their components, they're each in possession of individual letters, all of which could be combined in some way that helps to solve a puzzle of which the professor or instructor has the key, the secret key to that puzzle. This gamifies the assignment bundle, hopefully to inspire the students to do some detective work, to work together and communicate with one another to solve the assignment bundle and potentially earn more marks. So this is another way of possibly motivating students to interact more and to collaborate more and cooperate more. Another way that we can do that assignment bundles can be managed is to assign specific roles like scheduler or code reviewer or AI reviewer, such that students that have specific roles, these roles can be traded and changed throughout different students. And this, again, can encourage the type of collaboration and the type of role play that will be helpful in making the transition from student to professional. So in conclusion, Gordon Broom's presentation, Three Types of Learning Teams, underscores the importance of cooperative learning for high performance outcomes. In this presentation, I summarized and expanded on his presentation and provided as well some possible solutions to the forming storming problem, as mentioned in the following bulleted summary. Cooperative learning is crucial for achieving high performance outcomes. Effective group formation is challenging, requiring innovative strategies. Assignment configurations, an assignment configurations approach, is one solution to inspire cooperative learning, and implementing such strategies could foster skills and behaviors necessary to excel in today's collaborative workplaces. Encouraging students to explore engaging in self-motivated collaboration and cooperation is a good strategy that professors can use to ensure that students understand the benefits of working in group behavior and the challenges of forming groups to get through to high performance, and they understand what type of behaviors they can do to act as good teammates, to work well within the context of the group, furthering the aim and the goal of the group. So the importance of exploring and innovating teaching practices for high performance groups. So the references, you can take a screenshot of these references if you want to look at them. This is the presentation by Gordon Broom, and these are some more references that you can look at. And the final slide is the AI models used in this report. So assignment bundling, assignment configurations, assignment trading, these are all my own invention. You likely see these types of behaviors in different classrooms. I'm sure teachers have many different strategies that they use to get students to form, to get students to group, to manage their assignments. This is just another strategy. You can envision a book with hundreds of these strategies to get teachers and instructors to provide ways that they can manage classrooms to ensure students collaborate and cooperate. The ideas were performed by the author. Various AI models were used in collecting the data, verifying the data, and formatting the arguments. The AI models that I used preparing this slide were Mistral AI Devstral Small 2505, Quinn 2.5 235B A22B, and the Perplexity Sonar Large model. So thank you so much. If you watched this presentation, I hope you learned something, and looking forward to seeing you in the next presentation.